What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for a brand new episode in the tune-up series that I am doing here to hopefully share, maybe ideally explain, but mainly just kind of get across some swing ideas, some swing feels, maybe some drills that have helped me. I always preface these by saying by no means am I a swing coach. My swing needs a lot of work like everyone else. So I'm not saying that you need to model your swing after mine by any means. You probably definitely don't want to do that. But these videos are just kind of different ideas, different methodologies where maybe you disagree with 90% of what I say, but maybe that one thing, maybe 10% of it, you say, okay, maybe that kind of makes sense. I'm going to try that out. But in terms of today's video, it's going to be a quicker one. I actually recorded this video and one other last night, but it was late in the day. I was tired. My brain wasn't working the best, so I didn't get across all the stuff that I want to say quite as good. So I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to post these next week. So this one is going to be pretty short and sweet. I'm going to be calling this one Brace for Impact. So essentially what I want to do and what I want to get across is the idea of being a bit more stable, balanced, in a more athletic position. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I have a tendency to get too kind of upright, legs locked out, not a whole lot of bend, and I think I just lose consistency and power by doing that. So, for example, if you're really trying to hit the ball pretty far and pretty straight, I haven't hit any shots here, but you wouldn't necessarily line up straight up and down, close feet, locked out legs. If you're trying to hit the ball from here, you're not going to be able to generate a ton of power. Maybe a little more stable, but lately for me, what has really helped is, especially on days where I come out and I say, man, I'm tired, I'm sore, I just kind of need to kind of control this and swing. What I used to say would be easy, but where this kind of clicked was when I came out with Big Dog last week for our scramble. For the first 5 holes, believe it or not, I was just throwing absolute laser beams at every single shot I was hitting at, every single flag, every drive. And I said it right before we started playing. I said, I don't necessarily want to swing easy today. I just want to swing balanced and controlled. So to me, the best way that I could feel and the way I can explain it is having a bit more of a wider stance. Ideally, if you can, kind of flare your feet out a little bit. Shout out to Commissioner Craig. That was one of kind of his tips for specifically driver. But this will work across the bag. Wedges, not so much. You want to have a more narrow stance with wedges, but really anything from pitching wedge up through driver, I feel like this works, but a little more stable. The biggest thing for me to feel is having a really tight core. I've heard Rory McIlroy talk about it before. Really, for me, the feeling, when I'm the most balanced and controlled, it's when I have the feeling of if I'm going to do a crunch right now and really, really contract my abs and engage my core, I want that feeling, and you can still talk and still breathe while bracing. I want that feeling as I'm setting up and throughout the swing. 1, it's going to stabilize you. 2, it's going to make you more balanced. 3, it's going to protect your back. So if you're engaging your core muscles, it is going to do a ton in terms of longevity, not putting extra wear and tear on your back. But basically, those kind of ideas, another way to think about it is if you were getting ready to either push against a wall, someone was going to push against you, or even if you were about to jump, you wouldn't do it super narrow, super upright. You'd get pushed over here, or if you're trying to jump, it's not going to be great. Versus if you think about a little more of an athletic standpoint from other sports, if you were going to either push against someone like a lineman in football or push against a wall, someone coming at you, or you're getting ready to either jump straight up or forward, what you would likely do is you would get down a little bit more, brace your core, squat into it a little bit more, and you're in a much better position, in my opinion, to hit the ball further, hit the ball straighter, protect your body, utilize those bigger muscles like legs, which I need to do more of. But that's essentially the methodology. I figured I want to kind of break down over the past maybe 2 weeks. I feel like I've been striking irons pretty well. I'm trying to kind of figure out maybe what things I'm thinking about and doing different. So this was kind of the building block, I guess, of my swing lately. I figured this was important enough. I didn't want to just mention it in one video for 5 seconds saying make sure you're more balanced and stable. But really, the only way, if you're not going to get tipped over left or right or forward or back, you got to have a little bit of bend in your knees. Your core's got to be pretty tight. Ideally, you can have a little more upright chest, create a little more space. Again, Kamish talked about that. And really, for my feeling, it is just comes really down to the core. Keeping your chin up a little bit more, core engaged, And as throughout you swing, you want to make sure you keep that core engaged, so it's going to keep you in a much more stable, balanced spot. I get the tendency sometimes when I get tired and sloppy, I try to hit it hard, and you see me either falling over, coming out of balance, coming out of posture. It's just not great. But those are the main the main tips that I want to get across. So what I had written down was basically just not the idea of necessarily swinging easy, but swinging balanced and controlled. You can maybe say those are the same things, but to me, it helps having certain wording and certain ideas in my head to where when I start saying I'm going to swing easy, I start thinking, okay, I'm going to swing at 75%. I don't need to hit it that hard. I'm going to try to control it. I'm going to try to steer it. A lot of stuff comes into play. So for me, I feel like I'm playing my best when I don't think about it a ton and I just kind of swing hard and kind of be more, I guess, athletic when I'm swinging. Just kind of swing hard and let it fly. And while I'm doing that, if I can dial in and figure out what causes the best strikes, it would be the building block of, like I said, wider base, flared out toes, really just that core. And as you're swinging, try to stay stable, well balanced, not a ton of shift, and well, shift forward is fine, but not a ton of sway, movement here and there. But that's kind of the main feel, which will, like I mentioned, help protect your back. Kind of that feeling of you're getting ready to either jump or push, kind of more of that explosive type of setup, and really it just comes down to having a stronger core, or engaging your core, and having pretty good balance. So again, I did this before. I want to do it again. There was a couple things in there that I mentioned this time and not the other time. Hopefully I did a good enough job explaining and you guys kind of get the idea. If it's not for you, move on. I'm sorry. It's not the video for you. But I have one more that I kind of want to separate a piece of my swing, which I feel like has been working halfway decent as of late. Like anyone else, I have good days, good holes, bad holes, good swings, bad swings. But I would say over the general 2 weeks or so, I feel like I have been trending, and there's a couple things that I can pinpoint where I go into a certain round and say, that was literally all I did when I played with Big Dog, and I played debatably the best front nine that I ever had on camera kind of thing. All I was literally thinking during that front nine was literally nothing else. I know it's kind of ironic with me doing these videos with different ideas, but literally the only swing feel was engage your core and be more balanced and stable. And I just hit the ball. So it's not like you need to change your entire swing to implement these things. Just maybe 5 minutes on the range, say, okay, I'm really going to try to engage my core and feel like I'm going to do a crunch as I'm setting up for this and throughout the swing, and see what happens. See if it helps, see if it doesn't. Maybe you say, well, I kind of like this part of it, I don't like that kind of thing. But I'm going to do one more kind of separate piece that I feel like it's worth mentioning. Old Dankster, shout out to Dankster, he mentioned that he may try it out and it seems like it's been helping him. So I'm going to separate that one more piece and then kind of put everything together, so to speak, for one more big video, kind of a concept I'm still putting together. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to the members. You can see everyone's name scrolling down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.